Welcome, everyone, to a laugh and learn about water with Tanys from Twillo Lifestyle Community. Thank you for being here, Tanys. It's
Thank
great.
you for having me.
Yes. So I've got that, since I've got the little stash tag.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Tanys from Twillo Lifestyle. All of Tanys's contact information is below in the description, as well as ways to contact me if you would like to get a private reading. Those are available on Tarot Stash. Thank you for being here. And I've got so many notes. This is so much fun, so
it's a big topic.
It's a huge topic. Yes, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really. Always a good thing. Always Definitely. A good thing. Tanys, what do you have coming up in your world?
We have lots of stuff coming up in our world. We have some stuff coming up on Friday. I'm doing open mic with Ramsey Cheedy on Friday. We have Twillo Talk every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern, for those of you that aren't around. And working on some big classes coming up. We've got some exciting stuff coming on the Lionsgate, because I've been told I'm supposed to be doing a galactic shaman class. So.
Oh, okay. And people can find that out by going to the website.
Yes, it's not posted just yet.
Okay.
It will be posted in the next week or so. We're doing an intro to galactic shamanism on the 8th.
Very nice.
Likely at 7:30. Just
likely at 7:30 Eastern.
Yes.
Okay. I've got lots of good stuff planned. I am on some shows. Jamie and I are doing a back and forth after this.
Oh, awesome.
And then Wednesday, I have a show with Mark, Spirit Whisperer, and Terry at Holding Your Space. Terry, Betsy, and I are together. And then I am being interviewed by Deborah Zackow on her channel. She's doing an interview with me, so I'm looking forward to that. So just like and subscribe to both of our channels. That way you can be in the know. Let's say hello to some people. Midnight Apothecary and Bakery. And there you go.
All water signs. There we go.
All water signs. That's an important thing.
Yeah.
Jacob Bush is here. Hi, Jacob.
Hey,
Great
Jacob.
to see you. Thank you. Tiffany Tisdale is here.
Hey, Tiffany.
Linda Kennedy is listening while driving. So thank you. Angela Cardamancy Mesquite is lurking.
Hello.
Free Spirit is here. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
And we have Kaylee Fogo Pogo.
Hey, Kaylee.
And somebody does have a birthday.
Yeah.
Usually most people do have birthdays.
She's referring to mine.
I know. I'm trying to move it off of that if you wanted not to.
No, it's fine. My birthday's on Sunday, so that's why she's bringing that up.
Jenny Berlin is here, and Lottie B, Hugs from Spirit, has joined us. Thank you all. I do appreciate you all being here. This is wonderful. So this topic came up partially in a conversation. We were sort of laughing about things, and I'm looking,
Yeah, it did.
Conversation about water could be really, really helpful. And so I thought it would be great fun. And Marita is here. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And
Rose Blue.
Rose Blue, hello.
Rose Blue.
Great to see you on dinner break. Yes. So I'm going to take a sip of my water. Surprise.
Me too.
Sip.
And I'm going to suggest that everybody get a glass of water.
Yes.
over the course. We'll do something near the end that will be fun. So get a glass of water.
Good. Get a glass of water. And Rush Bob's Barbara is here, caught alive, lurking. I'm glad you're here. And that reminds me, I should say hello to all of the best chatters.
Yes.
All of the best lurkers, the work lurkers, as well as the future lurkers. Thank you.
Beautiful.
This is included on the Laugh and Learn playlist, which is in the description. So if you are interested in learning more about these topics and what we've discussed, you can see them all there. Hershey is here. Hello, Hershey.
Hey, Hershey.
Great to see
Florida.
you. Hi, Christine. We are not doing readings today. We're talking about water. We're talking about water. And yes, and yeah, cow lurking. Kelly is cow lurking.
That's a work lurking for her, I'm pretty sure.
That is a work lurking, yes. And
yes.
So what do you water is cool. I mean, so it's cool on many different aspects. So
it is.
Absolutely. So I've divided this into 3 general categories. Now, just like water, these are fluid. They sort of go through. I said mundane. I also said magical, as well as healing. So what do you want to say just in general about water before I go through those?
It's a building block for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it affects so many aspects of our lives, from the mundane through to the magical.
Yes.
And it can be extremely healing. We can use it to help us to flow with life. And of course, we need it. Our bodies are made up of it.
Yes.
A big percentage.
Absolutely. And Christine brings up a really good point. Water is medium, like the movie Constantine. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Water completes me.
Yes, I like that, Tiffany. Yes.
Beautiful.
And Hershey said, water, my release.
Yeah.
And Tara 12, hi, Tara. Delicious water. Absolutely.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the mundane aspects. And by mundane, I'm just meaning not magical and not healing.
Mm-hmm.
So, how's that?
The scientific aspect, your everyday water.
Yes, yes.
So what do we use water for?
Yes. Well, water is made up of 2 elements, hydrogen and oxygen, H2O. Mm-hmm. So that's why you see that. 2 hydrogen molecules and 1 oxygen. So that's what we have. And okay, so now, of course, I'm looking at my notes. It's nearly 97% of the world's water is salty and otherwise undrinkable. Another 2% is locked in ice caps and glaciers, and that leaves just 1% for all humanity's needs, all its agricultural, residential, manufacturing, and community and personal needs. 1% of the water is a lot.
It's still a lot. He read those to me and I'm like, oh, that's low. And then I went, no, because if you look at the amount of water on the earth, like there's so much water.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Oh, that's the next thing we were going to talk about, Christine,
yes.
actually.
Yes. Christine, O2 and H can be in liquid and air. And a friend of mine, I was talking to a good friend of mine, and one of the things, I asked her, I said, what do you think about water? And she said, the entire reason we can exist on this planet is because water can take a solid form, a liquid form, and a gas form.
Yeah, it's true. Because if you look at the cycle of water in nature, right? It's liquid, on the earth in your lakes and oceans
Mhm.
and all of that. And then it gets vaporized to go up to the clouds.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, it's not solid in the clouds, but it's still in vapor form, and then it gets released again and
Well,
becomes
and
rain, right?
interesting you mentioned clouds. So there's some research that has actually shown that according to scientists, the weight of an average cumulus cloud is 1.1 million pounds. 1.1 million pounds.
Can you imagine? Oh, it
That,
freezes in some clouds. Okay, actually freezes. So it does do the whole
oh,
cycle.
yeah,
Cool.
yes. Yeah, that's why we are called the blue planet.
Yeah.
And it does freeze. And so 1.1 million pounds is equivalent to 100 elephants. Get your head around that.
That's a lot of pounds.
Yes.
It's a lot of elephants. I love elephants, by the way. One of my
Yes.
spirit guides is a grandmother elephant.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so, oh, I love it. There is one more form, but it isn't but this isn't a physics class. Well, tell us what it is.
tell us, please. We're
You
in
can't
that.
taunt us. So, the weight of, there's another resource, is the weight of the water in the cumulus cloud is 250 million grams, or 250 tons, which is about the same as 2 adult blue whales.
Wow.
So, yeah, pleased with the physics, Angela.
Absolutely.
So there's something, and it can
It's
take
amazing.
these different forms. And you and I've talked about this, and Earth is in that, what do they call it? The Goldilocks zone, where the temperature is right for different things and exists. Right. And, just the fact that we exist is just a freaking miracle. But
yeah, there aren't very many planets that we could exist on.
Correct.
Right? In our present form. But that's a whole nother.
Correct.
That's a whole nother class. But in our present form, we have only so many we can.
Yes. Water regulates the Earth's temperatures.
It does. And our temperatures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
one of the great things about water is it carries nutrients and oxygen to cells, cushions joints, protects organs, tissues, and remove wastes. And this is where it's interesting. People don't drink enough water, just in general. Yes, I will.
We'll have some water now that he said that.
And so water is one of those things that when you put it into your body will distribute it appropriately.
How cool is that?
Yes.
That our bodies do that automatically. I think that's pretty cool.
I love that. So,
and think about all the things that are affected if you're not drinking enough water, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The dehydration aspect.
Absolutely. So I did some research, and one of the sources said that, because Tanys and I were talking about what % of the human body is water.
Mm-hmm.
And so one source that I found is that an infant is 75% water. Children are 65% water. The adult female is 55% water. And the adult male is 60% water.
Mm-hmm. And this surprised me.
Yes.
Because I wasn't some of the others. So some of the other sources that I've seen are that we can be up to 70 to 80% water.
Mm-hmm.
So the 80 seems a little high for me in terms of my gut on that, but 70 seems like a good number. But I totally understand why kids would be a higher percentage.
Yes.
Right.
Well, yeah. And also one thing that I found is that the brain and the heart is 73% water. The lungs are 83% water.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Be interesting to know what the stomach is.
Oh,
Only because we have brain cells in our brain, in our heart, and in our stomach.
yeah.
So it'd be interesting to know if they're all around the same.
Yes. Yeah, that explains why we are stiff. And, Merita is going to put some hot water on my dehydrated mashed potatoes. Yes.
Yes, I would recommend that. They're not as pleasant
Yes.
dry.
So, and again, hi, Book Bewitched. Good to see you. Good to see you. And so, there's always the question about how much water should we drink?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And one source that I found says about 15.5 cups or 3.75 liters of fluids a day for men, and 11.5 cups or 2.7 liters of fluids a day for water.
For women, yes.
For women, yes. So thank you for catching that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think water is one of those things. Water, it's the mundane aspects. It's not hard to, when you look at all of the things that water does, I think that's pretty magical.
It is.
So, and
I think there is a calculation, Christine. I think so. Rose blue, I think it depends on the ounces of your glasses.
Yes.
And Christine, there is a calculation, I believe, about weight versus water. I have seen that somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My chiropractor has said you need to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water a day. So if I weigh 200 pounds, I need to drink 100 ounces of water a day. For entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance, really. So, the fourth is tunneling.
Tunneling.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Oh.
Okay, interesting. Thank you. I'm going to start that and look at it.
I guess it does. I'm not sure what that state appears like, but thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. So
because we have so much in our bodies, that's why it has the healing aspect that it has.
Yes. And let's jump to the healing aspect of it.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, there are some people who say many of the diseases or problems that we have with the body are due to a lack of water. So
they can be due to a lack of water, and then we have also a lot of diseases that were carried in water before we had good filtration, or in those parts of the world where we still are struggling with that as an aspect, right?
Which definitely, and somebody had mentioned in the comment, yes, this is why it is important for us to have clean water, and we need to take care of water, and we need to treat it respectfully. I am going to say to everybody, when you're brushing your teeth, turn the water off while you're brushing.
You had that statistic about the leak.
Oh yeah.
Because that was interesting.
Okay. Up to 50% of water is lost through leaks in cities in developing worlds. So it's leaks. Turn it off. Let me tell you, when I'm watching a movie and somebody is brushing their teeth, and I'm like going, turn the damn water off, turn the water off. So Hypnicity is here. Hello, Hypnicity.
Hey.
Great to see you.
Good to see
you. Here you go. Merita said, water with a pH below 6.5 will be corrosive, especially if alkalinity also low. However, water with pH values above 7.5 also can be corrosive when alkaline is low.
Right.
Yep. And things dissolve in water. That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Let's talk about some of the healing aspects of water. I'm gonna let you take the lead on this. So,
yeah, water our skin is a big organ, right? So hygiene is a big thing. If we can keep our skin clean, and how do we do that? With water, with bathing, right? So that's one big important part. Hi, Ocean Garnet.
Hi, Ocean Garnet.
And then there's also healing the water within. So one of the healing modalities that I do called Aqualead is it actually heals the water within the body. There it is.
Yep.
Aqualead by Sabine Blay. So she's
Yep.
the founder. She had it downloaded to her. It's actually an Andromedan energy. And so that's pretty cool too. It actually connects galactic energies and elemental energies. In one.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's about bringing that energy down to the earth, right? And bringing it in. So it's very, so, I mean, that has a lot to do with like inflammation and stuff, right? So for me, for when I started using Aqualead, I found that it was really great for inflammation because it allows the body to really flow the energy. And it's interesting because it feels different from using some of the other healing modalities, because each healing modality has its own quality of energy that it uses. And that's, so with Aqualead, people have described it as feeling like waves of water across their body when they're using it. And yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Terra 12, yeah.
Yeah. Crystalline structure formed within water can be healing based on frequency. Yes.
Absolutely. And so there's been a study done by Masaru Emoto, who is a Japanese scientist. And actually, if I can present.
You should be able to. You're talking about the hidden messages in water, the work of Masaru Emoto, which I'm going to type that into the chat.
So what he did before you put this up, Jeff.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. So when what he did was he took water from a polluted dam because he felt there was a structural difference when you did this. So he took water from a polluted dam, and he took part of it and just froze it. The other part he took and had it prayed over by monks, and then froze it. And then he compared them. And so if you look here, this is the dam right from the dam, the structure of the water. Okay. And then this is after it's been prayed over. So this has been a monumental study in terms of how we understand intention and healing within water and consequently within our bodies. Because of that. So when we are exposed to things that are not as nice, it does affect the water within our body because we are so programmable. So you see here, he's got a couple of examples. So it seems that it's this kind of globular messy sort of thing if it's a negative, right? A denser, lower vibrational energy.
Sure.
When it's a happier, more peaceful, love, gratitude, it's these beautiful snowflake patterns. So they have a lot more structural integrity when they are having intention put into them. So this, you know, when we look at that versus the healing modalities and stuff, right? When we're doing energy healing, basically we're channeling energy at a certain frequency depending on the modality that we're using, and we're channeling that into the body. And so we're programming the cells within the body to create a change, much like the water that you just saw. So with Aqualead, that specific one targets especially that water. And so it really changes the frequency of the water and the structural crystalline structure within the water to benefit us to a higher rate. And so that's a really cool way to look at healing.
And you know, and Rose Blue asks, which is the before and after? The after is the one where you can see the crystalline structure. It looks like a snowflake.
Like a snowflake, yeah.
And it is far out. And
the globular mess with no structure to it.
There's no
That's
structure.
Basically what it looks like when it's negative.
And Midnight Apothecary and Bakery, thinking about how words change the water in us is a game changer. It really is. It really is, because, you know, part of his work is it's the influence of our thoughts, our words, and our feelings. And simply by adjusting our thoughts and our feelings, we can change so much. So
Absolutely.
much. Yeah. And it is a fantastic tool for raising our vibration.
And
Absolutely.
because water is so programmable because of the study, we can program it with all kinds of things for our healing.
Yep.
So, you know, I do a class on crystal elixirs and gem water, where we can actually program water to hold the healing vibration that we choose to hold.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you can do this in a direct method. So by putting stuff in your water, you can do it with an indirect method. I mean, a lot of you have seen these bottles where you're actually putting crystals in the bottom to
They're
create.
separated from the water, but
They are
close to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are some crystals that you can put right in your water, but you really need to look it up first, because there's a lot of crystals that will either erode or they will put dangerous things. But the indirect method like that, or if you're doing elixirs, you can create strong batches where you can actually use them as healing, like as well. That's where it's similar to the Bach flower remedies.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's another whole thing where they have water and they actually float flowers on top of the water in the sunlight, so that the sunlight allows the flowers to lend their energy to the water. Mm-hmm. And then each one has a specific healing vibration. And so those Bach flower remedies allow us to be able to tap into that frequency for our own healing. And so it's the same with the crystals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I think, I mean, and Rose Blue mentions that, says, I set out my bottled water pack in the moon the other night. I think creating moon water is an extremely beautiful, magical tool that can have many different uses. So,
for sure.
Midnight Apothecary and Bakery said, I feel like a whole new world just unlocked.
Awesome.
Let me tell you that when I first became aware of his work, the hidden messages in water in the movie, What the Bleep Do We Know?
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that it resonated. Mm-hmm. And it was like, ooh, wow. And then I'm going, how much, and you see in that where she's writing on herself. Mm-hmm. And so I was working with somebody who was doing energy healing. What I had gotten into the habit of is to write my intentions on my feet, on the bottoms of my feet in permanent markers, so that each step that I took, this resonated through my body, and it really, really was impactful.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So
the other aspect of that to be aware of, though, is if we've got products, for instance, that have water in them, and the product name is not so positive, that's actually written on the bottle. I saw something about that last week, and I went, oh, yeah. I hadn't thought about that. There's ones that have a real negative name to them, or a negative connotation to the name. And those ones, I mean, you need to be careful, because the study that Masaru Emoto did, he also did it by writing love on a piece of paper and putting it under a glass of water, and then hate, and putting it under a glass of water. Yeah. So he's done all sorts of this. If you check out his website there and the book, of course, you'll see all sorts of fascinating things that he did with that.
And you can check your local library. Your local library may have it available either in a physical form where you can go get it, or in a digital format. So, and Rose Blue, I've seen it at my local witchy shop, my metaphysical shop. So I'm sure a search could do that. I encourage you to shop locally. And purchase responsibly, know your limits. We're here to share, not to sell.
Exactly.
So
yes, you can do it just by putting, if you get a big bowl, like a big glass bowl, right, that a lot of us have in our kitchens, and you have just a water glass, You put the water glass in, and as long as you're not filling it up over the water glass,
Yep.
You've got the water glass sitting in there, you're creating it. So let it sit like that for, an hour or so, and then you drink the water. Even that will work.
Yeah. Merita keeps rose quartz next to her water glass in the bathroom.
Beautiful.
Jonathan Daly is here. Hello, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan.
Glad to have you here. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Misty said, "What the bleep was the movie that got me into the rabbit holes over the rainbow and to these channels?" Excellent.
Well, then we're thrilled that you saw the movie.
So the Zon of Amma has it if worse comes to worse for the book. Rose Blue, I probably won't be putting any links to where you can get your crystal because I don't want to lead you down the wrong path. But this is an interesting question of what crystals would you use for healing with water?
So any of the quartz crystals are safe, right? So your rose quartz, citrine, amethyst, smoky and clear, all of those know the book.
Okay, it's I found it in an internet search.
Oh yeah,
but it is on the Zon of Amma, so you can find it there. Yeah, Rose.
So yes, so you just need to be really careful. If you do some research, you will probably find a list, or there's classes and stuff as well for those kinds of things where the teachers will give you more information. But the quartzes are very safe. Okay. The other one, so for me, just my personal, I use moss agate and carnelian during the winter in my water.
Okay. Nice.
Because it helps to boost your immune system. So
yeah. Well, and I think it is one of those things that, depending upon what you're trying to do, what you're manifesting, look at crystals, and then those can be helpful because, as we've said earlier, water is a conductor, so it will take on whatever intention you set with it. So, and the magical properties around it as well. Right.
So if you want boosted immune system, you could put boost immune system under a glass of water and have it as your coaster.
Yes.
For instance. Yeah. I did an abundance class. So we're getting into magical properties now a little bit more. But I did an abundance class with taking the abundance crystal, the picture from the study. And I also placed a couple of symbols from Aqualid, on a little card, and I laminated it. And so I was using it on my water bottle, like having it attached with an elastic around it so that it was right on my water bottle and programming the water.
Very nice. Well, and so I think the healing properties of water, there's different modalities.
Definitely.
And you find the modality and explore the modality that works for you. I oftentimes, this is just Gerald's opinion, modalities can be intermixed because the energy is energy is energy. So I think keeping that in mind. But, also healing is a lot of times when someone is sick or someone has a fever, again, you put someone in a cool bath to help bring them down. Yeah. And I think it's extremely powerful to keep that in mind.
And of course, heat for sore muscles.
Yes.
When they say have a hot bath.
Yeah.
If you've overexerted, those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we can put things like essential oils and whatnot in water as well to enhance the healing of it, right? Just be careful how you're doing that. Okay. Make sure you're mixing it with that. What's that natural soap? Oh my goodness.
It'll show back up.
But a natural soap, mix it with an emollient, right? Before you actually put it in the water. Yeah. If you're using the essential oils.
Yeah, that the essential oils are a whole different ball of wax.
They really are. Yeah, but they're great in water
Yes.
if you mix them well.
Jonathan is sharing that he makes frankincense water,
Oh, cool.
pure resin, for his immunity booster. And
Yeah.
Midnight Apothecary and Bakery is the bubble bath queen.
Perfect.
So, and it is one of those things that, as Hershey said earlier, water is my release.
Yeah.
And water completes Tiffany. And it is very healing, yes.
It's
And
cleansing as well. So that can be
yes,
not only just cleansing our skin, but it can be emotionally cleansing as well, right?
exactly. And
Because we also have, those layers of our aura. So when we are cleansing those with the intention of cleansing our layers of our aura, we're also getting healing aspects from water.
yeah. And I do like Terra 12 posted this earlier. Water is to be respected, turbulent at times. Yes, absolutely.
Well, and we use those turbulent things to our advantage from time to time, right?
Absolutely.
Like hydroelectricity and stuff.
Yes. Water for me is incredibly grounding. So more than earth, dirt, etc. for Kaylee.
Yeah.
And I think it is one of those things that for the healing aspect of water, it's important to pay attention to how we respond to it.
Absolutely.
Because what works for me today may not work for me next year because I'm different. So,
and for me, I find it really one of my favorite places to meditate is in water.
Yeah. So, I'm a shower person. I'm not a bath person. But there are great cleansing baths and all that stuff. Jonathan talks about throws himself into the ocean.
Yeah.
As does Medium Betsy Palmer. So
well, and the ocean is salt water, and salt is very cleansing as well. So those that'll really help cleanse the auric fields as well. Doing that.
Hypnicity said, I drinks lots of tea, hot and iced. I think the teas bless my water. I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, for sure.
I would agree with you on that. Any other aspect of healing aspects of water?
Well, you can use water and you can program water to hold different frequencies. Okay. And those frequencies themselves are healing. So what I'd like y'all to do is get a glass of water. If you don't already have one. Okay, we're going to give you like a minute to do that. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I'm going to do while you do that. So you can actually program water, and you will notice a difference in the taste and texture or texture of water depending on the energy that you have put into it. Okay, so this is what we were talking about with the study. So what I'm going to do is I am going to channel energy, and I'm going to intend that it's anybody who's seeing this either now or in the future, that if you hold a glass of water up, we will program that water to be something else. So before you do that, before we program anything, I want you to take a sip of your water, and I want you to notice the nuances of the water. What does the texture feel like? What does the temperature feel like? What is the is there a tingling? Is it flat? What is it? What's the texture? Texture is important in this. All right. Now I want you to hold it up to the screen, and we're going to start by. No, it will not be delivered by Diet Coke. Sorry. I don't think you'll have the same effect because it'll feel different. Right?
Yes.
So, and it's going to be subtle. So I want you to think about the subtleties of this before we do it. So you've just had a drink of water. I want you to notice that, and I'm going to put Reiki into the water first. All right. So just give me a moment, and we're just going to put Reiki into everyone's water. Sorry, guys, my husband has a bit of a cough.
Okay.
Okay. Now what I'd like you to do is take a sip of your water, and I want you to notice if there's any texture, taste, frequency differences in the water.
I'm going to let people post that. My Soul's Journey is here, as well as
Hey, Bella.
Thomas Tarot Your Way, who is trying to get Diet Coke to give him the same effect as water. So Hypnicity said sweeter.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Okay. So if anybody else wants to pop that in, that's great.
Yeah. Ooh, lovely. That sounds awesome, Jonathan. Yeah, I've done yoga in the water. It's the same sort of feeling, right? He's talking about doing Tai Chi in the water.
Yes. Yeah.
Tai Chi, yeah.
I was I just heard thunder, so I was like okay, the universe is saying thanks for talking about us. I don't know if you can hear that. So Rose Blue said tastes different, better.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
mine
you taste
it? Mine was a bit clearer.
Yes.
So
good.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you know what that tastes like. I'm going to put aqualead energy into your water now. Okay. Actually, I'm going to do Nukti first. Most people like the aqualead, so we'll do Nukti so you can feel it. So Nukti is another energy modality. It is Pleiadian. It was downloaded to me in 2019. And what it does is it helps to heal trauma and grief at a cellular level. Okay. So we're going to put that into the water. We'll see what the difference in the flavor is, or the texture or the taste. Okay. Okay, now taste that one. Does it taste different from the first, and does it taste different from the second? Taste, texture, temperature, all of those things.
I'll say it tastes a little warmer for me.
So Nukti is a really high vibration. So you think about friction. When something's a higher vibration, it can often feel a bit warmer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how do you spell Nukti?
Nokti.
Nokti. And Hypnicity said it tastes cleaner.
Yes.
And we just experienced Nukti.
Mm-hmm. Nukti is another one. So both aqualead and Nukti aspects of those will be part of the Galactic Shaman program, because it's all about healing using different modalities and bringing them in. So as well as channel and journey.
Sure.
Okay, so now we're going to do aqualead. Okay. So hold your glass up. I felt my fingers tingling holding the bottle. Yes.
Yeah, Rose. And Jonathan said the water tastes smoother. I'm not sure how to describe the change in texture.
Yeah.
I understand. Do you have a date yet, Tanys?
Yes. I'm assuming you're not asking about my social life. I'm assuming you're asking about the Galactic
There you go. Yes.
Shaman program. Yes, Galactic Shaman. We're going to have the introduction to the Galactic Shaman program on August 8th at 7:30.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. So water. We're going to put aqualead in the water now. All right. This is the aqualead energy. Okay, give that a try.
What do you think, people?
So, T. Lynn, you might like the taste of water if you infuse it with energy. This is
That's a
one
good
of the
point. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Marina. It's lovely
Hey,
to see
Marina.
you. Thanks for stopping by. Um,
Oh, a laxative effect for Epsom salts in your water.
yeah. So again,
I haven't
entertainment
done it.
purposes only. I've not done that.
I haven't done that either.
I have. Epsom salt is in itself is pretty dang incredible, and so there's a lot of healing properties with water and Epsom salt. So,
And Himalayan rose salt.
oh, Himalayan,
So
yes.
it's also got a lot of minerals that, as empaths, we tend to release. So
Yeah. Hypnicity said it tastes healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes it tastes like it will be absorbed faster.
Yeah.
So there's an energy about it. So
yeah. And so if you think about that, you've just tasted 4 different flavors of or textures of water.
mm-hmm.
And I'm not even near you. So just wrap your head around that too, right?
There you go. Yeah. And Jonathan tastes the taste got fuller, more pure.
More pure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I ended with that one, because a lot of people really like the Nuck tea.
Yeah. And even if it's a placebo, I'll take it.
I have done this with so many people, Hypnicity, so many people. And almost everybody will taste as a slight difference, or it'll feel a little bit different, or in the nuances.
Yeah. And Rose Blue puts pink Himalayan salt in their water several times a day because I'm outside sweating.
Yeah.
So
good.
Okay. This is great. So I would like to finish up by talking a little bit about the magical aspects of water. And Kaylee brings up a good point is yes, water does affect soup.
It does.
Yes.
And this actually takes us into our magical. Because so Kaylee's in my Celtic Shamanic High Priestess class. And so we talked about doing witch's brew. And witch's brew can be homemade soup because you're bringing all 4 elements and spirit or energy into whatever you're doing. That's what creates magic. So she went home and she made 2 batches of soup, one of them in ceremony and one of them not. Exactly the same ingredients, all measured and everything. And she brought them to sample at our enlightenment evening one night. Everybody noticed a difference.
Yes.
Everybody. It's amazing the difference. So even having water in a ceremony will change the flavor of water.
Yeah. Well, and I'm yes, magic has a lot of intention around it. And one of the things that we say in our coven is everything tastes better in ritual in circle.
It does.
So it's great. Yeah. So magical aspects of water, when we're looking at the element of water is usually associated with the West, oftentimes cups or chalices.
Yeah.
It is
or seashells. That's another one. Or
seashells. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And there are a lot of. I mean, it relates to intuition. It relates to healing and the divine feminine. So those are
the
some
emotion.
And the emotion. Yes. Yes. Yes, I agree, Marina. Water is healing and transformative.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
And here you go. Hypnicity.
Yes.
Puddle jumping is magical for me. I could always found a puddle even on a dry day. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's very true. My orca guide lives in water.
Beautiful.
Yes. Yep.
I took a class one time with all of those energies. And
Mm-hmm.
it was amazing. We actually heard a dolphin.
Hi, Care Bear, Bard of Cards. Great to see you. I hope you're having a great work day and drink some water. Let's all take a sip while,
Sip, sip.
Thinking about some magical aspects of water.
So if we're thinking about the energy of water, it's also that yin energy, right? Like you were saying, that's that feminine. And, there's lots of herbs and all of that. You and I were talking about the elemental beings.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Involved in water as well. So things like dragons, because there's water dragons, the selkies, the naiads, all of those are like water beings.
Yes.
So
very true. And water is one of those things that it's used to purify. You mix it. You can bless people with water, holy water. What do you think that is? It's water said with a ceremony and blessed for specific things. So, definitely keep that in mind. I'm a big supporter of I like the idea of this is before I start a ritual, I'm washing my hands, I'm cleansing myself.
Yeah, because you go into it clean then. You're not bringing the
Yes.
mundane into circle.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
A lot of people have like pre-ceremony baths and stuff as well, where they're setting intentions and putting herbs and all of that into it to bring that energy in.
Yeah, so it is one of those. It is the well, what do they say? Evolution. We came out of the water. So.
Well, we're born in water.
Yep.
Right? Yep. So we're in water for the first part of our lives.
Absolutely. And
we're in tummies.
Yes. Okay, so orca is my main spirit animal, hypnicity. I've never run across anyone else that had orca as a spirit animal. That's cool.
Cool.
So, and Care Bear, my astrology teacher calls water the sap of life. Yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep. Jonathan said, I love water and have been called a fish out of water by somebody. I took on a snorkeling tour. I have a special bond with the ocean and often use ocean water mixed with holy river water to make my moon water.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And so moon water is one of the things that I do. You basically take for me, it's a clear jar, and I put it out under the phase of the moon that I'm working with over the overnight, and then I pull it in the morning. So one year for my Yule gifts for my coven, I created moon water, full moon water for 13 months. So I did that every month for 13 months as a gift.
Beautiful.
So, yeah. So, and yeah, you can definitely put in a lot of different herbs with water, and those just intensify it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and we didn't talk too much about the lemon water, but lemon water can be effective in all of those categories we looked at.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
So
what are some other, magical aspects of water for you?
Yeah, for me, the moon water is definitely a big part of it. When I do ceremony, I often will draw down the moon, even in ceremony, to really sort of bring in the energy of it. Doing spritzes and stuff like that too, creating sprays with moon water or with moon water and essential oils and herbs and stuff in it to do cleansing or to create an energy in my field. Because of course, whatever frequency we have is what we attract. So we try to change our frequency. It's part of magic, part of healing to attract. And so doing that and having sprays around With my practice, I often have a clearing spray so that when I'm finished my client, I spray myself with the clearing spray to allow myself to do that.
Yeah.
And of course, teas, again, you can have certainly make beautiful magical teas and water blends in ceremony to allow yourself to experience those energies too.
Yeah. I mean, and so I think it's a really important thing to, as with magical, anytime you work with magic, and you are setting intention, remember, water is a conductor of this, and water will amplify it. And it's one of those things that you can very easily, Rose Blue says, I mean, countertops with floors and basil water. Well, what you're doing is you're doing a cleaning as well as a cleansing.
Yes.
Which is beautiful.
Definitely.
Sage and Palo Santo smudges are great, yes. So
it's also very much about going with the flow, right? So when we tap into the energy of water, it can be very much about helping us go with the flow. So asking that flow energy. So when we're feeling a lot of inner resistance, if we're sitting in ceremony and doing that, like a meditation about please help me to go with the flow of life, and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Jonathan is sharing, a healing potion, and Marita said the power of water to dissolve and release. Yeah. It's a carrier molecularly as well. And just what you said, this idea of going with the flow. It's a huge thing. So dissolve and release. And we
could also talk about things like dyeing. So using herbs and stuff with water for dyeing things, or for ink. Yes. Magical inks.
You got it. Yes.
Those kinds of things.
Yes, that's really, really important. You're absolutely right. So,
and even color water, actually. We didn't talk about color in water. But having water, you can program the water with different colors and make it moon water. So you were talking about how you have a clear jar that you put out. So what if you put out a blue jar to bring in the blue energy into that water?
Yes.
Right? Or a purple one. So that's kind of cool too. That brings the energy of the color in without it bringing color into the water.
Yes. Absolutely. Are you looking for something to be able to share? Okay.
Well, not online. I'm just looking because I have some stuff here. I in my year-long magic class, I have some ideas. So I'm just making sure that we've pulled all of them forward.
Hi, Jen Bowles. Great to see you. Well, and let's face it. I mean, watercolors. How many creative endeavors do we use? We use water as a medium, as a something to to transmit. With thinking about the moon, many of us with magical practices do notice the phases of the moon, because the moon impacts the tides. So it is one of those things to keep that in mind as well.
Absolutely.
So the multiple layers. So
and Rose Blue, yes, when I was speaking of doing dyes and inks, like you can do them with herbs, like turmeric for yellow, right? Or beets for the purple, that kind of thing.
Yes, onion,
so food gray,
onion skins.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Hi, Saint D. Good to see you.
Hey.
Yes, water carries the color, then evaporates, leaving the pigment behind.
Yep.
So here's a question, because we're at an hour, and we've covered a lot of good information, and thank you everybody for being here.
Yeah.
If you watch the playback, if you've been watching the playback, leave a comment, because I'd love to know what you think about water and how you use it. But I am asking everybody this question: is what's your favorite thing about water? So, it's like Marita says, water is a delivery system. boats as well as whatever is dissolved in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad. What's your favorite thing about water? My soul's journey, Bella. So yes, time did fly.
It did, indeed.
So and
It's life-giving. Yeah.
it's life giving. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The sound of the
Mm.
ocean. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's beautiful.
That's so relaxing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, it's like being in water and
Mm-hmm.
feeling that, like the feel of water, the floating aspect of
Yes.
things, right? That
Yes.
sort of thing.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
think, I love the way that water holds me when I float. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things about water is um, when, I was explaining this to my friend this morning. I was saying, the thing that I love is when I take a drink of water, it just feels good
Yeah.
at so many different levels. It's like, yeah, this is just it makes things feel okay, or I can handle things.
Well,
So
and it's also like you feel like you're doing something good for yourself because we
yes,
all know the benefits. So when you drink water or you go in water, like you just feel like you're doing this beautiful self-care, even in a
yes,
sip of water. I mean, that's a
absolutely.
beautiful,
Yes.
powerful
The
way to see
cleansing
it.
aspects of water, the way it rejuvenates and invigorates, the peaceful tranquility.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello, and being in water, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. We talked about that,
Yeah.
Jonathan. Liquid glass or liquid, solid, and
Solid and
gas, as
gas.
well as tunneling, apparently, can take
Yeah.
another form.
Mm-hmm.
It can be very powerful, yet so soothing. Yep. Yeah. And Marina's like that. Now I want to have a shower again. Well, hey.
Go for it. Right?
So,
Bring it. The other thing that I tell people, so because of the healing aspect of Himalayan rose salt, not everybody has a bathtub, me included. So
mhm,
what I often will say to people is make up a little mixture of salt water um, and bring a sponge in and just run it over,
it's true. Yep.
right? And then rinse it off. Of course, you don't want to leave it on your skin,
Yeah.
but that can be a super cleansing way as well.
I hear you. It's very hot where they are. Yes. So, one thing, we've talked about different aspects, and, I disliked using the word mundane because water is anything but mundane.
Mm-hmm.
I would, yeah, you can do a spritz. A spritz is a
Yeah,
great thing to do.
for sure.
One of the things that I would encourage people to do is to pay attention to that water conducts intention. And
Mm-hmm.
as Kaylee was talking about, is you can change the way something tastes
Mm-hmm.
when you use water. You can also adjust the energy around what you're drinking. If
Yes.
you add something to it, if you add a lemon to water and you're mixing it, the way you stir it and what you say is very important. It can help manifest things appropriately.
Well, and that's where spells come from,
Yes.
right? When we say
Yes.
something, it is a spell. So we
Yep.
put that spell into the water. So, if I'm
Yes.
adding cleansing lemon and I
Yep.
am bringing through self love as I do it.
Well, and I've done conversations in the Laugh and Learns about when you want to draw in, you move clockwise,
Yes.
Dreschel, or counterclockwise, Widdershins, when you're trying to remove something. And that's something. Maybe what I'll do is I'll add this video to the grounding and protection playlist as well. So
Because there's lots of cleansing.
yes. T. Lynn said that's why we should speak positively to it before consuming. Language literally has an effect on the water crystals. Yes, it does.
Indeed.
Yes. And water picks up energy. Yes. And Merita talks about, being very careful not to drink too much water because it can have a negative impact.
Mhm.
So be very aware of that. Stir to the left, leaves it behind. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jonathan would use a sprit spray made from purified water and essential oils to be able to clear acupuncture space between treatments.
I would invite you, Jonathan, to try putting smoky quartz in your spritzed water as well.
Ooh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tanys, for being here. This has been so informative.
It is
So,
my pleasure and an honor always
so,
to be with
and,
you.
well, thank you. I probably have, left a whole bunch of things off, but I think one thing that I would like to encourage people to take away is to remember a little bit of an adjustment with your energy and the words you use can have a huge, huge impact. So, and you don't have to be powerful to be able to do it. You just have to be clear with your intention.
Love, 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 love.
Yep. That's
and
great.
Drink.
Yes. All right. Everyone, thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it. Please do me the favor and leave a comment if you if you found this helpful. And
that's great, Jonathan. Good combo.
There you go.
Yeah.
Linda Kennedy is headed to the pool.
Good
Excellent.
plan.
Excellent. All right, everybody. Thank you very much, and take care of yourself. Bye.